Well, hello, good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Sitting in the Sydney Airport Lounge today. Hope you're all awesome and well. Let me know if you can hear me. I think we've got Jeff there in the house. Hey, Jeff, how are you, mate? Good to see you, buddy. Give us a shout out in the chat, folks, if you can hear me, if I'm coming through loud and clear. But if you can, hey, morning, Dave. Hello, Facebook users. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, good to see you here, everyone. Welcome along, welcome along. Might be a little short Wealth Coffee Chat today, but I thought maybe we might talk about a few bits and pieces that are out there in the world of predictions and capital growth predictions. What do you guys think? The media slash economists slash people who think they can predict the future are having a go again, folks. The idea that the market might be on the recovery is a pretty interesting one. And you and I both know that there's been many signs prior to right now, there's been a property market in severe undersupply and plenty of positive things going on. Our rents have been rising, our growth and our property had been significant over the previous few years. The last sort of 9 to 12 months of interest rate rises have slowed down property growth, but also that it's slowed down our supply. So, there we go. For us as property investors, there's plenty of good things on the horizon, but some of the latest data and statistics coming out, it's that springtime of the year as well. And what happens in springtime, folks? Does anybody know in the world of real estate, traditional real estate, what does springtime bring to the residential world of, same people. Yeah, I know. It's funny. They have a crack and say it's going to go down, and now they're going to say it's go up. Aaron, you're right, mate. So Aaron's called it right, folks. And the selling season. It's the selling season, and it's an interesting time of the year. Lots of buying, lots of selling, increased supply. Well, I wouldn't say increased supply, Brendan, but I know what you mean. You're saying increased sales volume. Yep, and certainly becomes one of the busiest times of the year. Now, there has been a small increase in the volume of sales and listings out there in the property marketplace, and predominantly based around, two factors. Number one, it's the normal time of the year to sell, come off the back of winter. Selling in winter is not really a great time often to get the best price. Springtime, people are, excited and out there. And also it's the time of auctions and auction clearance rates when it comes to the world of property investing. Check this out. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? All right, see what it says. There we go. Preliminary clearance rate rose across the board with Sydney lifting to 74%, highest, folks, highest since August, according to CoreLogic. And a Sydney house beats the reserve by more than $700,000. 700 grand, folks. 700 grand. So what's going on? What's happening? What's going to happen here? Why do we see things like this coming out right now? You're dead right, Brendan. It's crazy, Aaron, and it's just the beginning, folks. This is what myself and many others are seeing. You guys know that we have a small residential agency up in Brisbane, as well as serving you as property investors across Australia and New Zealand in the world of sourcing great properties for you to buy and invest in. Yep. I mean, I wouldn't be selling that property. I'd be keeping it. But anyway, but the depth of the buyers, Brendan. See, this is the interesting thing, folks. When we talk about the marketplace and we go, all right, well, things have slowed down, right? Now, what's the reason things have slowed down? do people just stop wanting real estate, folks? Do they go, yeah, tell me, it's quick yes or no. You know, 1 minute they're like, yes, we all want to buy a home, and the next minute they're like, no, I've changed my mind, I don't want to buy a home. Does that change? Does the desire for most people to buy a home change? Yes or no? The answer is yep. The answer often, and it's not the investment, so not investing. So let's put investing aside. And you know, Marcus, yep, you're right. No, the desire for an owner occupier to buy their home doesn't dissipate. Okay, it doesn't dissipate. They go, oh, I want to buy a home. I want to buy a home. So that market force, that market desire, does not disappear. It doesn't disappear. It stays there. It doesn't act. Now, when, let's say, in the last 12 months, what has happened with buyers, owner-occupier purchases? Yeah, and sometimes the fear might drive it down for sure. But the fear of for owner occupiers, the fear of missing out is often the big fear, rather than investors. Investors are like, if I buy something, I make a mistake, it costs me money. So let's put investors aside, because investors, folks, listen to me, investors do not drive capital growth in the market. All right. Yep. FOMO is coming. You're dead right, Brendan. You're dead right. And it's been built up. It's been massively built up. There is a backlog of purchases going back 12 months, maybe even 2 years, folks. This supply issue, the quality of the supply, or the lack of good quality supply for owner occupiers, has been there for, you know, a couple of years now. Let's be honest. It was even there before COVID, folks. We had a supply issue and a quality supply issue. It started in 2017. Now, you guys know my opinions on this one, right? So the supply has dwindled. The supply of quality properties has, like, literally dried up. If you're in a good property and you want to upgrade, and there's nothing really to upgrade to, nor can you afford the next upgrade because interest rates have gone up, you stay where you are, don't you? That's what happens. There is a backlog, a demand of buyers. There's not a lot of stock. And for the moment, for the short term, in this spring selling season, after 12 or 9 straight interest rate rises, the fastest interest rate rises ever in history, from the lowest interest rates ever in history. So, it's not a drama. Those two balance each other out in reality, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The marketplace is ready to buy. It's now 4 months. The interest rates haven't gone up. It takes 3 to 4 months for people to settle in. This is the new normal. This is the new where we're at. They find out what they can borrow. They organise their buying action. They all feel that the interest rates aren't going to go up anymore. There's not that rhetoric out there. There's not that talk. And now it's about, growth is coming, folks, whether it's real or perceived. FOMO and growth now is coming. And listen to me, and we've said this 1,000 times. Like, Sam and I have been talking for months about this turn of the market right now, and it's been coming, and it's about to take off, right? And you'll see people pay $700,000 more than the reserve on a property. You will see more buyers than properties to buy, and especially in the quality space for the purchasers. That is here, and it's about to get funky when it comes to that stuff. Hey, good morning, Tim. Good to see you, mate. So let's have a look at what's on the prediction range here. I'll whack that up on the screen. Check out this. All right, here we go. We've got some forecasts. Now, this was from one of the big economic houses. I'll get the data. I didn't put that on the bottom there. Anyway. Hey, good morning, Rose. So, hey, look at the forecast. Melbourne, folks. Now, everyone, Melbourne and Hobart, geez, I tell you what, I don't understand Hobart. I missed it. I completely missed it. I don't understand it. Economically, there's just nothing going on there. But property prices keep going up. The lowest wages in the country. It defies all understanding for me. So I've just got to admit, I don't understand Tassie, so I'm not going to invest there. Sure, it's probably really low pricing driven by lack of supply, but it just doesn't have the infrastructure spending and the jobs for me. Anyway, but let's talk about the mainland. Have a look at that, folks. Have a look at Sydney and Melbourne the next couple of years, right? Okay, June 24, December 25. Now, these are predictions. Now, we all know what predictions are like, probably, pluck one out of the Netherlands and, have a go. Some of these are based on good information. And I think a bunch of this, for me, makes sense. It tracks with my understanding of the supply chain mechanisms, my understanding of the cost of money is going to go down. Folks, unless you've been living under a rock, the money is not very expensive, let's face it, in comparison to long-term averages. We're at a long-term average interest rate right now. Now, this is the thing. It's really interesting. We have this dysfunction, this mechanical dysfunction in our thought processes that something negative is more consequential than something positive, right? So, a few people had, 2 or 3 or more years of low interest rates, right? Now, the lowest interest rates in history, by the way, the lowest interest rates in history. Now, I didn't see people celebrating. I didn't see people saying, "Thank you, this is amazing. What a gift, what a miracle," right? I didn't see anybody saying that. Did you hear anyone saying, "What a miracle," right? No one said that. But however, on the flip side, when interest rates go up to normal long-term averages, everyone's carrying on like pork chops, because what happens psychologically, especially in and around money, something negative earns more attention than something positive. Okay, and as investors, we've got to be careful about how we dramatize a negative and undervalue a positive. Anyway, that's a little sideway. Yeah. So anyway, there's growth forecasts in the future. What does that mean to us? Well, listen, folks, it's already coming. We already know that this is a fact already, right? And how do we know? Oh, there we go. I'm not catching a flight. I've just arrived. I've arrived in Sydney. I'll just wait till they finish talking. How do we already know that some of this information links with our information, your information, from good multiple sources of data and information? Okay, let's check it out. We know interest rates are going to go down over the next 2 years. That's going to add, folks, 20%. So when the interest rates go down 1%, right, 1%, interest rates are going to go down 1%, or the cash rate is going to go down 1%. Whether the banks pass that on fully, there's another thing, right? But cash rates are going to go down 1%, maybe even further. Every 1% right now, okay, every 1% right now increases somebody's buying ability today $100,000. Okay, keep that in mind. So if an average property price is $600,000 and the interest rates go down, your ability to buy goes up. Are you gonna stay buying a $600,000 property, or are you gonna go buy a $700,000 property? Don't think about you. Think about a owner occupier who desires a property when it's in low supply and high demand. What are they going to do, folks? Are they going to pay less, or are they going to pay more? Tell me in the chat. What's going to happen? This is the fact we know of human behavior. Are they going to go out and go, "Oh, you know what? I know I can borrow 700, but I'm going to pay 600. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Tell me. Because I can tell you what I know they're going to do, because I've seen it a million times. Every human on the planet, when they want something, they buy bigger. And it's not necessarily even going to be bigger, Tim. And it's not going to be better. They max out their borrowing power. That's what they do. So that's coming, folks. That is coming. That's human behavior. You and I understand some of the issues with that, depending on what you're buying, where you're buying it, and buffers and safety nets and stuff like that. But most people don't. Most people don't care. This is my one true home that I'm going to live here forever. They don't. And then, they want it. They want to be in that area. There's only 5 available. This one's the best. I'll pay more. It's going to happen. So that's coming. What else is coming? Construction prices. They've gone up on average a lot, on average, depending on where you are, between $400 and $600 a square metre, new construction prices. So they're not coming down, folks. Not coming down. Maybe some small savings, some small adjustments, because some of the builders can buy, forward buy some supply. But I can tell you right now, if the marketplace is used to paying X for it, and all the businesses now, their prices have gone up, wages have gone up, taxes have gone up, all that sort of stuff. Tell me, are you going to drop your prices in a significant way? Are you going to put it back to 2020 prices, folks? Now, the thing is, these per square meter rates haven't landed in the market yet. They haven't landed. You guys, it's not going to happen, Tim. You're right. So interest rates go down. People are going to max up their loans. The last 2 years of construction, and some are underway and some are starting now, are between $400 and $600 a square meter, more expensive. Okay, so there's new prices going to be set. And then we've got 1 million people coming into the country. Well, just coming into the country, and a bunch more coming in the next little bit. So do these projections of growth look ludicrous? No. My question to you folks is, are you in place? Are you in one of these locations strategically to get some growth? Are you there? Are you in location? So that's the units, and that's the houses and units. Now, we all know that these are broad strokes, and what helps capital growth even more is the quality of your property and the location of your property, and some other factors. Sam teaches in the Forex growth strategy. Perth looking good for sure. Get a piece of Perth. If you haven't got Perth, listen, if you haven't got Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, or Perth, those 4 are the long-term winners, folks. Absolutely. So maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to get a deal done, folks, no matter what it takes, depending on your buffers and your buying power and all that sort of stuff at the moment. Anyway, there you go. That makes sense. That makes sense. I said I was going to have a short chat with everyone today. That is that. Brendan, you're dead right, mate. You're dead right. Well, they are what I call the number one menace, right? The number one eroder of wealth, the government, right? The government. And they're just throwing their hands in the air. They're like, we've shit the bed. But anyway, I'll save that for another Wealth Coffee chat. Yes, you got to do your research. You got to know what you're getting in for. You got to work with, if you're going to buy new, you got to work with brand centric, quality builders and developers. If you're going to buy second hand, you're going to make sure get your building inspections done and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you chat with your coaches and your advisors when you get yourself organised for that. Anyway, folks, there we go. I'm done. Wealth Coffee chat done and dusted for today. Good to see you guys. I was thinking, I'll just have a quick one. I'll just have a quick chat in the airport. But anyway, nothing's ever quick when we start talking about this stuff. There's plenty there. My chat to you is, if you're in place, you've got growth coming, and make sure you keep your rents up. If you're not in place, well, maybe it's time to do that. Maybe it's time to get in there. Maybe it's time to take a position in Perth or Brisbane or Melbourne or Sydney if you haven't purchased yourself a property in one of those locations just yet. All right, folks, that's it. Good to see you. You guys take care. Join me tomorrow for another one if you want to hang out. You guys know the drill. 8:10. Well, all right. Well, then chat then. See you, folks. Bye-bye.